Afternoon, everyone. Pepper Dog here. Hope you had a good Monday. It's Monday late afternoon, evening here right now. I just wanted to give some updates and what's going on domestically and internationally. I want to focus more first on what's going on domestically. So, unless you've been under a rock, you've probably heard about the trial of Derek Chauvin that is coming to an end, and it did end today. They had closing arguments this afternoon, so it is in the hands of the jury, and they'll be deliberating either tonight or starting tomorrow. So we have that going on. So a lot of people are on edge about that. Good reason. My prediction is that he'll get convicted of something, maybe the lesser charge, one of the lesser charges. And I believe that regardless of what he gets convicted of or not gets convicted of, there's going to be violence, there's going to be more looting, there's going to be more burning. And so I think we need to prepare for that. I think that's a good possibility. So the title is of this video is Prepare for SHTF. And I believe we may well see it this week. So this is going to be a very interesting week. So if you're in a city, large, small, medium, especially the large ones, and even the medium size, even your not so large major cities, I would avoid the cities. If you live there, go get your stuff, go get your preps, get what you need now, and just stay in place for the next several days at least. See what's till things kind of shake out here. Okay. If you're not in a city, try to avoid it as best you can. If you need to go in, only go in if you have to. If you have to, try to blend in. And those of you who live in the city, try to blend in. Try to go gray mode right now. Now's a good time to do that. Try to blend in best you can. Don't call attention to yourself. Just go where you need to go and get out, and go about your business. Don't try to stand out with as far as clothing, even wear something dark or just something to where you blend in with the crowd. It's not a bad time to look like one of the herd. Okay, so don't go down the street in the city with tactical gear on and acting like you're all bad. You just kind of stand out like a sore thumb. You can be like a target. Okay, so that's my advice for if you live there. And if, like I said, if you don't live there, try to avoid it if you can, because I think we'll see a lot of stuff happening. Okay. So we have that going on. I did see a report yesterday that a National Guard, now this was right there in Minnesota, right there near where the trial has been going on in Minneapolis, that a National Guard vehicle, a Humvee, was shot through the windshield by a drive-by shooting. Now, luckily, nobody was killed or seriously hurt, but that tells you something there when they're taking shots at a National Guard Humvee the day before the trial ends, right? So that gives us a little clue about what's going to happen or what could happen. So we need to keep a close eye on that. So, and just beyond this trial, I was thinking about that a lot this weekend. Is that it seems like everywhere I turn, if I turn the news on, or if I just look, I don't watch TV news much anymore. It's a bunch of garbage. But when I look online, just different sites, just seeing what's going on, it seems like every turn there's some mass shooting or just crime has gone sky high. Not just in the cities, everywhere it seems like, even in your smaller cities. I saw a video last night. This broke my heart, man. I saw a video last night of somewhere in Chicago. Didn't specify where in Chicago, but there was a shooting at a McDonald's drive-thru. A 7-year-old girl got shot. The dad was seriously hurt. I don't think he died, but the 7-year-old girl died. So somebody walked up or drove by. I didn't get that detail, but it just shot up this car while in the drive-thru of McDonald's. Okay. This video was tough to watch, and it was somebody videoed basically the aftermath of it. The police had arrived and were trying to save them, pull them out of the car, And just that's just one example. I mean, you're hearing of similar things in a lot of cities. It's just all over the country. Okay, and it just makes me wonder. I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons for it. I don't have time to go into all that, but it just seems like society is just coming unraveled right down the seams. I mean, right before our eyes. I mean, how scary is that? Okay. So this week in particular, with all this going on, I think we need to be very careful. I don't care where you live or where you're going. Okay, watch your back. Just be careful. Have situational awareness. If you're going out, try not to go alone. I don't care who you are. Try to go out in at least a small group, in two or more. And that way you can look out for each other. Strengthen numbers, right? So and have your defensive measures in place. All right, be ready. All right. What else? So that's domestic. Okay, among other things, of course. And I'm not even going to go into the economy and all that. I mean, yeah, that's kind of up in the air right now. I think it's hanging by a thread personally, but another story for another day, right? Internationally, we still have. I mean, I can remember. I'm old enough to remember the Cold War of the '70s and '80s, and it sure seems like that again, or even worse right now. If you really look at the news or the news that's coming out now, you're not going to hear this on the TV news. Okay, I even have checked out, like, if even Fox or Newsmax, they're not talking about this. What's going on in Russia and Ukraine? You got the China-Taiwan situation. That's about the same right now. The Russia-Ukraine is what's really heating up, and the rhetoric and the threats going back and forth is really ratcheting up right now. That one concerns me the most. And then you also have, like I said, China, Taiwan, and then Iran and Israel. The rhetoric there just keeps on going. Iran has threatened to take revenge on Israel because it blames Israel for blowing up, bombing one of their nuclear sites where they're trying to enrich uranium. Okay, and I don't think there's been any big developments in any new developments, at least in the last few days, on the China Taiwan. I haven't looked as closely at that. Okay, but the Russia-Ukraine deal. Okay, over the weekend it was relatively calm, but things have heated up some more. The big thing there, from what I'm able to glean, is the diplomacy breakdown. Okay, so they're not talking to each other. Between Russia and Ukraine, United States, they're expelling each other's diplomats. Okay, so kicking the diplomats out, and vice versa, all around. So that's not good. So you're not having the talking, you're not having talks back and forth. Okay. Putin is supposed to come out with a talk or a speech on Wednesday, the 21st. So we'll see what happens there. But in the meantime, we don't have good signs there with talks, with diplomacy just not existent right now. You've got Russia threatening the United States and the UK, saying to stay out of the Black Sea, don't come near here. You need to avoid this area for your own good, quote unquote, for your own good. Okay, we have naval assets in the area. We have UK is also sending an aircraft carrier battle group there as well towards the Black Sea. So we have a continued buildup of Russian troops up to the Ukrainian border with a lot of tanks and hardware. We have Belarus, I guess how you pronounce it, which is to the north of Ukraine, which is saying they're allied with Russia. So that kind of makes Ukraine kind of surrounded and enveloped from the east and then from the north as well, from Russia, from the east, and then to the north from Belarus. So that puts Ukraine in that much worse a spot. Okay. Then you have other players. I mean, with Turkey right down to the south, you don't know what they're going to do. They're supposedly an ally of NATO, a member of NATO, but who knows what side they're on. But they're a big force there in the region. You got Poland, which is an ally of NATO, an ally of us to the west, just to the west, neighbor of of Ukraine. So they've got to be nervous. They got to be wondering what the heck. So we supposedly have, the United States supposedly has a military presence in Ukraine. It's supposed to be a small force for now. Who knows how many, are in there. So that buildup continues, okay? So you got, like I said, Putin making warnings left and right there. So that, if that spark were to go, I tell you, that could really be bad. At the very least, even a regional war would be very, very, very tough and very predictable, okay? And have ramifications for all of us, all right? So I think we need to prepare for that possibility as well. But also, I want to mention a couple of other channels that are doing a lot of work on this. Prepper Now and Pinball Preparedness. They've done some videos, especially on the Ukraine-Russia thing. They're doing a lot of in-depth on that as well. So you should check them out. I follow them every day. So that is the main thing I wanted to get across. Let's just keep our eyes and eyes open, ears open, and just really watch everything when you're out there tomorrow and the next few day or so. Just really, like I said, situational awareness. Watch who's around you, especially if you're in the cities. If you know of some protests going on, try to avoid that area as much as possible. Okay, if you can't avoid it, if you're in it, or if you make a wrong turn, all of a sudden you're in the middle of a protest, keep it moving. Don't try to stop and yell or do anything dumb. Okay. Keep it moving. Try to get on through out of there. All right, get out of there. All right. So let's be safe out there. Like to hear what you think. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel so you won't miss my videos. I really appreciate it. God bless you, and I will see you soon.